So I have already set up my VPS here. Yes, go change the world. So this is the new Ubuntu 16.04 VM that I set up. I have already set up my SSH key and the stuff, so I should be able to connect to the server. Yeah, so now I have connected to the new Ubuntu here. The very first thing I'm going to do is to app update and then install some basic software. If you look at the list of the software that we got to install, we got to install Node.js, Postgres, Nginx, Forever, Git, and all the npm install. So once I updated my Ubuntu server, I will install them one by one. First of all is the Node.js. So let's go to the Node.js official website again. The instruction, the commands is already available in our CMS, but I will do it just like when I don't have a CMS. I will go to the Node.js website, go to the other downloads. You see there are several options. For Linux, they have binaries, they have source code. Neither binaries or source code is a good option because you may have to configure the path, the environment yourself. So always look for whether they have the package manager or distribution way to install the software. So when you look for the package manager, look for your Linux distribution. We're using Ubuntu. So they have this command, and this is the Art Linux. So this is the Ubuntu one. Don't copy the wrong command. So be sure to check which distribution you're using. We are using 16.04 here, so we are not these two distribution, and we can install the Node.js 8. something. So it's up to you to install the 9 version, but because the version 8 is the long-term support, which is more stable, so we decided to install the version 8. So copy and paste the command. Basically, it's do the same thing just like adding the PPA or adding the source list. So it's fine. And then now we can install the Node.js. So after the installation, you can try whether the Node.js is functional or not. So you see this lovely arrow, -v. You see that we have successfully installed the Node.js. We have installed it on the server. The next thing you're going to install is the PostgreSQL. So by default, they already provide you PostgreSQL in the Ubuntu here. So if you are curious about the version, you see that they are installing 9.5. This version is fine for us. So since this way to install software is the most safest way, this is the safest way to install software, we just go ahead to install this PostgreSQL 9.5. So that they are running several commands.
Stupid question. This is for the VPS, right? You're
I'm installing in a VPS. I'm installing on DigitalOcean. I'm not installing my own computer. All right. So we install Postgres. So next thing you're gonna do is to install the Nginx. For Nginx, because this is also a very stable software, we don't really have to worry about the version. But you see that for this software, they don't specify the version here. The version is not in the package name, so I decided not to install it yet. To check whether which version I'm installing, I use app cache show Nginx again. So by using this command, add cache show, let me enlarge the window. You will see that they have the version here. This is the most updated version that they provide. It's a 1.10, so that I can go ahead to install. I'm happy with 1.10. Yes. Yeah. So this is the Nginx. So for Forever, this is a npm module. This is an npm module. It's a Node.js module. So to install this Forever, when you Google it, let's say you want to install npm1. You see here. To install is just very easy. You just -g. So you do the same, copy and paste. So it takes a little bit of time. So you have Forever ready. So when you type Forever command, yeah, this is running. We are ready to use Forever. Git is also a very stable package, so we just use apt-get to install the Git. Oh, Git is already in the system here. Git is already this latest version. Let's type the very famous Git status here. Yeah, not a Git repository. Then we have the Git installed. Then it's fine. So all the npm packages necessary. This is above our project. Since we do not have the project inside the server yet, so we don't have to worry about the npm package. So now we have the server ready with all the software.
So all the npm packages that we use for the Node.js app, then we have to do those as well.
We have to do those as well, but only after we have the project uploaded to the server. Yeah.
Okay. Once you've deployed it.
Yeah. Once we deploy it, because when you do the npm install, you will see that those modules, those packages, actually installed locally inside the project folder. So that's why we should have the project inside the VPM, the VPS, and then we can install those packages locally there. All right. So up to this point, I think should be fine.
Every project you need to install every time?
For every server, I have to do that. Yes, for every server. So if you have separate server for each project, yes, then you have to do all this thing again.
Does it matter to have separate servers for different projects?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes for my, I mean, not to mess up between different projects because they may have different dependency. Or sometimes maybe they are even from different clients or projects, then it's better to separate the server.
Right.
Since that you see that we already installed this thing.
But it's a virtual server anyway. It's not like, so you don't know whether it's you don't care as long as it's a VPS that's separate.
Yes, the VPS, and then we actually logically separate the things because we already installed this kind of software. Imagine if your next project is doing machine learning or doing data science, you may have to install Python, other stuff of database, and then you don't want to mess up all the things together. It makes your migration even harder because right now we have a very clear picture that we have all the software here that we're going to install. If you mess up with other dependency, then the next time you want to move away from DigitalOcean or move away from Ubuntu, it will be very hard. Yeah, you are not really sure what kind of software you need to install to a new server. All right. So we have successfully prepared our server. So we should have covered the Node.js and then process manager. Here we start to deploy our Node.js software. To make it simple, let me create a very simple project. So let's say we have Express with socket IO. It's a very very simple project. I will also use the Git because the best practice is for you to use the Git to deploy to your production rather than just uploading the source code. You want to do a more good, collaborate with your groupmate in a better way, not to mess up with all the versioning stuff. So as usual, I git init, npm init, have a git ignore, ignoring the node module, dependency, whatever. And then I have the package install. So imagine I just have Express and Socket.io. And then I would like to have a very, very simple application. Just let's just take the Socket.io tutorial as an example. So we have the index.js, we have the HTML, right? So this is the simplest Node.js server. So we might run it locally. As usual, we'll see the things, and if you check the network here, you'll see that Socket.io is connected successfully. Then I'm fine. I don't really want to do any functionality here. As long as it's connected, then I'm happy with it. So now I'm going to do the commit. Git add dot git commit. So sorry, I have some typo. I just run this command git add dot and git commit here. Alright, so I have successfully do my project with a git versioned, version controlled. So the next thing I'm going to do is to try to push the source code to the server. So you have two ways to do this. If you look at our material here, you may be able to use this SCP. SCP is a way to securely, so the full name is secure copy. So which means that using SSH to copy the file. So the command is like scp-r, which means copy the folder to a remote host. But this way you have a problem like your group may override your project, and then you override your group mate project. You keep overriding, and then at the end of the day, everything mess up. So that's why we use git here. Remember, you have a command called the git push, right? You have the git push. So the git push actually try to upload the source code to a remote space. In the previous weeks, you are pushing to the GitHub. So GitHub, you may imagine that GitHub is just a server that available for you to store some files. So right now we are doing our own GitHub. So we're going to set up a Git repository on our server, accepting your groupmates or yourself to push your source code to the server. So accept the changes. So if you look at this graph, this is actually acting just like GitHub on your VPS. This bare repository, so you actually git push. This is your Git client, this is you, this is your Mac, this is your Windows. You git push to the bare repository on the server, just like GitHub. And then once we set up one more thing, we set up a little bit more than GitHub, is that in your own GitHub here, your Git repository here, once you receive someone pushed the thing on the server, you will deploy it, and then run it. So this is the difference between your VPS and the GitHub. So whenever people push here, you will deploy it and then update your server. All right. So to do this thing, let's follow the instruction. So find a place that you feel comfortable on your server. So let's say we exit from the server again, connect to it. Okay, starting from the beginning. So let's say you have finished set up your server a few days ago, and then now you decided to deploy your software. Find a suitable place. Let's say the home directory of the root. So I have logged into the root, right? I SSH into the server. Every time I log into the server, it will arrive to the home directory. Where is it? You can type pwd, print the working directory, pwd. You see that I'm actually in /root. There are more best practices that you should put your source code elsewhere. But for demonstration purpose, I'm just trying to deploy the source code here. Starting from the root folder, I will make a directory with my project name, express with socket.io. Oh, I want to omit the dot here. Express with socket.io.git. This is my folder name. This is a directory. Alright. And then I go inside in it. Express with socket.io.git. I go inside. And then I type a command git init with /bare. So which means that I want to create a Git repository in a bare mode. So what is a bare mode? What is a bare repository? So when you init it, you ls-la, you will see that this file is really uncommon. It's really strange to you. It's not really familiar. So this is actually those Git file that store all the configurations, store all the stuff, all the objects. I mean, this is the underlying Git that you're using. That's usually hidden from you. But this file is actually handling the Git commit, Git versioning, Git branch, something like that. So it's fine, which means that we create a repository accepting the push. Actually, which means accepting push by creating this bare repository. So the next thing we're going to do is to set up a post receive script. This script is the key. This script is the key. The difference between GitHub from your repository here is that, so you go inside the host folder, you see that they have so many samples, so many actions that you can do after each action. Like after someone have write a commit message, before push, do you want to check whether that push is valid or not? Anyway, we don't care about all these things. We only care about after the push. After the push, we want to deploy the software. After people push to Git repository here, we want to deploy the software. So we create a new file called the post receive. All right, for receive. We have a very handy script here that you can just copy and paste. All right, but there's a few things you have to change. Okay, first of all is the place that the Git repository, the location of the Git repository in the server, in the VPS. Okay, remember the name, the folder name that we have created. If you forgot, you can just go outside and see. This is the repository name. And then we also have to design the place that we want to set up our program, our project file. So let's say we have a name without the Git. So we will have two folders here. One is with the Git folder. Another one is without the Git extension here. So basically, we set the path. And then this command, this particular command, it will try to check out. Check out means that to create the folders and files. It will check out the most updated Git version to a particular destination, which is here. Okay, we try to create our folder here, and then go inside to that destination, go inside to that folder, install all the necessary packages. So here, at this point, we will install the packages, and it will start the program using forever. So you see that this is app.js. If you look at my project is index.js. So it's up to you to change this one. Okay, mine is index.js instead of app.js. Okay. After that, I finished set up my post receive script, and then exit. Yes, write this at this name. So I have this progressive command here. One more thing is hasn't do here is to grant it to be executable. So I will use this command change mode +X, which means that make it executable. So it's all in green in color. So this command could be run after the git push. Okay, so we have finished set up our server. So now our server has the ability to accept git push. It could accept git push because we have init the git bear repository here. And the second thing that this server can do is the post receive script, that once it receives the git push, it will automatically deploy it for me. Alright. So of course the next step is to push it to the server. So we go back to our local machine. This is our local machine. We get remote add. This time we do not add the origin. We add another name called the production. And then the path of my Git server. So it is root at the IP here. And then colon, which means I'm going inside to that server. Remember the path. Remember the path. If you don't remember, go back to the Git repository. Go back to the Git folder here. pwd. Okay, so this is the path in the server. Copy and paste this path to my local. Okay, so by this way, enter. I added an anchor point to my production. I haven't pushed yet, so now I'm gonna git push, not origin, production, and then the branch. Okay. So I'm trying to push it to the master. You will see that it takes a little bit longer because this is running my post receive script. You see that here. It's going to cloning. Alright. So now you see that this is the message from the remote server. I'm actually running the push command in the local. But you see that the Git, the server tried to help me to install the npm and thing. If you go up one level in a remote server, now I go back to the remote server, ls-la, you see that besides this Git repository that I have created, it automatically also creates the project for me. It also create a project for me. If you go inside, you see that everything you have set up is here. Remember the post receive script? We also have the forever start inside. So if you type forever list, you will see that I have my server. This is the uptime, which is not quite normal because you see that the uptime is just less than a second. If you list again, oh, more than 1 second, maybe it's working. You see that they have a log file here. This is the file that you can take a look to see what happened. So to take a look at the log, you have several options. You can nano, but nano will read the whole file. The even more better way is to tail, as you can see from the word, which means get the last output of the file. Tail, copy and paste the file name. Oops, no log here. Low log, sometimes low log is a good signal because there's no error message. Sometimes you'll see some exception there. So the very next thing you're going to do is to visit our website to see whether it works or not. So let's copy and paste the IP here. This time we do not go to the local host. We go to the server port with the IP and the port. You see that the server is up and running. Very great. Everything is running as expected. Right? So remember we have a console log. We have a console log, right? A user connected to the socket. We want to take a look whether this console log is outputted or not. Where can I see the log file? So we can tell it. Again, you see that actually the console log is written to the log file. But it's very stupid. If you want to check it, keep on telling, right? I'm going to introduce one more command. You want to keep on reading the log file, just like when you're running the log server. You can have an option called the -f, which means keep looking at the log file. You see that the logging is not ended. So when I put it here, and I put this, okay. So when I reload the server, yeah, you see that the log will keep coming up. This is very handy for you to keep looking at the log to debug on the production server. Okay, so this is how you set up the server. And then the next thing is that you could keep on updating your server, right? So the reason why we set up so complicated stuff, you see that we have set up the Git, we have set up the post receive script. Why don't us just SCP, just upload the source code? Maybe you have heard of FTP, right? Why don't we just upload the source code and then, just npm install, do everything manually, right? So now, if you like to add the chat capability to the server, right? Remember the socket IO you have been using. So just like this, when someone emit the chat, we emit back the chat, and then when there's a chat coming in, you have to add the message, right? And then when someone push the message, the form, whenever they submit, right? Something like this. Something like that, right? So of course you have to try it in the local server to test whether it works or not. It's not, sometimes it doesn't work. So we go to the local server, test, doesn't work. The log, anything broken? Is anything broken? No? Then why? Anyone can spot the error. Form, action, here, send, emit, chat, should be fine, isn't it? Oh, it's messages instead of message. Let's see. It's 0. Why? Okay. I don't trust myself, so I console log it. Anyone spot the error? It's 0. Why? Why is 0? Oops. Anyway, I don't know why.
Top value.
Dot value?
0.
Dot value is fine.
That's why you're getting a 0, right?
Maybe I just click the anchor to the button instead of it doesn't work either. Anyway, at least we're making some progress. We have a 0 here. I don't know what happened here, but I want to push it to the server. Anyway, I want to push the server because at least right now my server don't even have a 0, right? So I wouldn't have a 0 up and running on my server. So now I want to git add my stuff, git commit. At least we make some progress to show us 0. Right? Very stupid message. And then the next thing we're gonna do is to push it to the server. Push. Again, the post receive script will be 1. So now that you can see that it actually restarted my server here. So now, yeah, you see that the updated version is now live on my server. And you see that if you forever list again, sometime maybe the log file has been changed, right? Yes, the log file has changed. You see the ID has changed. And then log the new file, you see that 0 here. So it's very easy for you to manage the production server. You can keep pushing the new stuff. Different group mate of within your group, you can share the source code with the GitHub. You will still use the GitHub to communicate between each other. You will still use the GitHub to push and pull. But whenever you want to make it live on your production server, you keep push to the production.
How do you roll back though if you accidentally pushed that and found it was a bigger bug?
Well, then remember a few days ago we have the git fuck up guideline. So the best way to do it is to make a new commit that reverse the change. Right? So one very golden rule is that you should have make sure it works on your local machine, right? So if it doesn't work on your local machine, why would you want to go back? Right? You should have make it work on your local machine. You roll back without pushing it, right? If you really want to roll back, then you can roll back in your local machine. And if you really happen to push the things that you have done and then you regret you did that changes, then you make a new commit to kind of reverse the change.
Okay, again, stupid question. I'm trying to figure out. So when you look on your remote server, you've got the 128 dot whatever your IP address, right? That is you on the server side.
Yeah.
But the client would have the website.
Everyone can visit the website with this IP in right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Even using your cell phone, using whatever, then you can use it. Visit.
No, but I'm saying like normally on your web. So I'm just asking if when I'm on the server side I can just go to the website and view it and that's what's going to be on the website. I mean that's going to be the website instead of the server that's showing up the IP address that's showing up.
Well, so you want to make it a .com, right? Want to make a domain name, yeah.
A domain
So the very next thing we want to do is to register a domain name because it's really ugly. You do not want people to type port number, right?
So then you just
So yeah, so the next thing,
domain name to the server that you have.
So you actually have to register a domain name so that you have a domain for your server.
Yeah.
So before we have the domain name, let's get rid of the 3030 first, because we do not want people to remember our port number. We want them to just go directly without the port. So actually you can see that it's by default go to the Nginx. So that's why we have the Nginx in front of Node.js. We do not want people to go with my port. So to set up the Nginx is very easy. So let's stop the locking. And then we can now node to the Nginx configuration. This is the configuration here. So by default, they already have some configuration here. So you will see many files, many lines here. For the hashtag here, this is the comment that is not the Nginx will ignore. So you see that they want this configuration is not in effect, only this thing. So right now it is pointing to this folder. So when you look at this one, I believe this is in that folder, this content. So we want to make it to our chat room. So the things we're going to do is to look at the material here. You can see that we have a proxy path. So this block, let me copy and paste first. So we replace this one. We replace the location slash. We copy and paste here. We delete it. Command Control K actually delete the line, so you don't have to backspace so hardly. So you can just Control K. And here you see that this is local x0x0. You may guess this is the Node.js port that we want to do. So in my case, it's 3030. So it's up to me to change the ports to port. Okay. So before explaining it, let me save it. Restart it. So this is a very common restart command. Surface, what surface you want to restart, and then type restart. So if there's some error message coming up, that means you have some typo in your configuration. Nothing show up, should be a good signal. Go to the IP again. You see that the server is here. Right now, people will not need :3030 to visit our website. This is a very good step here. Okay, so now we have the server set up. So to explain further about the things that we have just copy and paste. Here is the reverse proxy. So we may heard of reverse proxy, this kind of name, several times, but have no idea what it is. So the reverse proxy actually, the Nginx here, so the proxy is like an agent, right? The proxy, it helps you to serve some content. So by default, proxy is as a proxy, it will accept the URL request. So if I'm a proxy, you want to visit Google and you go for me. So I will say, okay, you should go to Google. You should not go to me, right? I'm not Google. But if I'm a proxy, so you're asking for Google content, I will help you to go to Google and then serve the content back to you. Right? This is how proxy works. Reverse proxy, similar to proxy, but you go to me not because you want to go to Google. It's because I have already a configuration written in here. I will always go to localhost :/3030 to get the content and then give it back to you. So that's why this is reverse proxy. So the difference between proxy and reverse proxy is like proxies will listen to the user to do whatever the user wants to do. Reverse proxy will not listen to the user because the reverse proxy already have a defined URL. This one, the proxy path here. The reverse proxy already have a defined URL. It will always go back to that particular server behind. It will request from that server behind and then serve the content back to the user. So this is the difference. So in our scenario, we want to set up a reverse proxy using Nginx, just like this graph. We set up Nginx as a reverse proxy. Is always direct to our Node.js server. So it is a reverse proxy. Always go back to the Node.js server and then grab the content and then serve it to the browser using the port 18.
Whereas a proxy would have been just between the browser and the Nginx.
The relationship between Nginx and the browser is not proxy relationship.
Okay. So then where's when you say user, what do you mean?
A user means the browser.
Okay.
I mean,
so that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
right?
the user is the browser. But our Nginx web server is not a proxy, it's a reverse proxy. So the reverse proxy will use, when they accept the request from the browser, from the user, it will always go to the Node.js server.
No, so I'm just asking, what would a proxy be?
Okay, if it is a proxy, if our Nginx server is a proxy, then the user, when they request to our Nginx server, it will come with a URL. It will come with a URL. Like I want to request to Google, I want to fetch from Facebook. But at this scenario, we do not allow the browser to give us such an information. So if our Nginx server is really a proxy, it won't work like a browser. If our Nginx server is a proxy, we will go to the network preferences. It's set by the user. Advanced proxies. Oh, let me enter my password. If your Nginx server, you set up your Nginx server as a proxy, you will go to your network and then take web proxy and then type your server IP. And then whenever you try to request thing in the browser, it will not go just like here. It will not go to the cms.accelerate.hk. It will go to your server and then say, hey, I want to go to cms.accelerate.hk. Could you help me to grab those content? This is how proxy works. All right. But this is not our scenario.
No.
This is not our
basically
scenario.
with Nginx, it's always a reverse proxy.
Yes, by copy and paste our configuration. Yeah, actually you can set it up as a proxy, but we are not going to teach here. Yeah. Let me see. I'm not sure whether if I put it here, what will happen. Let me try. I guess it will show me the chat room. It still works. Cool. Yeah. For every website, it will go to my chat room. If I set my proxy, yeah, because this is a reverse proxy, it's a proxy. So for any website I go to, it will go to the chat room. What? It's not really ideal.
That could be a good joke to play on somebody.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't escape from your chat room, so let me untick it. I don't want to see much
Like,
about it.
friend them and tell them that someone's taken over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you see someone else leave their webbooks behind, and then you can try to set up policy to yourself.
Wait, you have to know how to do all of this first.
Yeah.
Which is
Just send it to a meme or someone never leave the meme.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing,
you
so
just have to make sure the value is not 0. It's like you've been hacked.
yeah,
Ha.
yeah, and then set up your Bitcoin address and then help them to send you some Bitcoin. Yeah. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do is set up domain for our website. We're gonna set up domain because it looks ugly when you tell me, hey, can you visit my chat room 1.99 something? You don't hate to do this. So we recommend you purchase a domain.
Credit card again.
Sadly, yes.
Name cheap.
I'm not whether they accept bank transfer. Right, so you can buy any domain. Yeah, it's very cheap, only 0.88. Right, so let's say this is accelerate demo dot, I don't know, whatever dot. Give me the cheapest one. So yeah, as an instructor here,
Club.
yeah, you have to spend some money anyway. So I will claim accelerate for such a domain. This is so I'm gonna purchase this domain in front of you guys. 0.77, it's fine.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So
What's your PIN number?
Hugo
Hmm?
not
Your
club.
card's PIN number.
yeah, I'm gonna stop the video
You can put it
recording.
on the proxy, don't worry.
Yeah. So
Hugo Club. Hugo only.
anyway, so it's 1 year. It's fine, very special.
Chat room meetings, ladies.
Cool is got is to hide my host domain information because for every domain host online, you should have provided some information, just like when you have some, just like here, when you open your batch, you have a command called the cool is, so actually you can inquiry any domain, and they will show up all those register information. So when you visit Accelerate HK, so okay, it is registered for our web design. So for .com, the security is better. But if you check like accelerate.com-k, you might see the name of Gordon. Oh, they put it dot. Yeah. Anyway, you should sue them providing incorrect given register information. But you will see that you can see the whole information. Accelerate
wow, you
HK.
can see the
Yeah.
name of the company and everything.
Yeah. You should be able to see it for some of the domain names. So for the domain name register or name chip, they provide you a cookies guard. So you don't want to disclose your information, so you enable it free. Great. So I don't have to disclose my information here. So the subtotal is 0.95 because they have some additional charge. Anyway, let's go ahead. Sometimes they have promo code. I usually go to reserve some promo code. I remember I have register my account. Yeah, cool. I have actually purchased domain before, so I have an account there. So I don't really have to show you my credit card number in this video. All right, let's go ahead. Am I done? Yes, pay now. The process will be super fast. It takes not more than a few minutes.
What's the payment?
I use my credit card.
I know, but what are they using? They're using Stripe or?
I'm not sure. Maybe they are connected to the bank gateways directly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe done. It takes a few minutes. Let's see what can I manage. So this is all my domain. Here, manage is active. Maybe it's already done. So now this is just domain name. You may think of once you have a domain name, your IP, the concept is pretty simple. I just have to point my domain name to my IP, right? So I have my basic DNS. No, I don't want the basic DNS. I don't want them to redirect it. Can I manage it? So every domain provider have different ways for you to map the IP. But all in all, it's just about the name server. You always look for the name server. You always look for the name server. So can I have this one? Let me see. Okay, seems it is not the one. So let me look at the material. They provide me the way to do it. No. Let me introduce one of my favorite name server. So maybe the name chip is too cheap that it doesn't provide you a good DNS server. So I usually will go to this Cloudflare to register a free domain name server. So the idea is that you have the domains ready, you have the domain. But the mapping between your domain and IP require another additional server.
Ready?
Yes. The mapping.
Okay.
The mapping between your
Like a
domain and
database
IP.
or something? That's because it's
Involves some server anyway. Yeah. So you will have another DNS server, but there are so many free DNS server online. So hey, just ignore my domain name. Anyway, so here is one of the free domain name provider, Cloudflare. So you type your domain here, scan. It takes another few minutes. Come on, you'll be faster. While we are waiting, yeah, your domain is using, which means you have set a domain server. Yeah. So their cheap DNS only provides the redirection. So we need the custom DNS, which is provided by Cloudflare. It's almost done. Yes, continue setup. So I have no DNS record, so I have to set up the mapping the very first time. Let's copy and paste our IP address. So you see that this is the place that I've put my IP address, just the address. Don't put the slash, don't put the path. And then the name, which means that because I have this is acceleratedemo.club, right? The name, which means whether I want to set chat room dot. So this is the name. This is the name. So if I have no name, then I just no name. Okay. If I have no name, okay, they need me to put an @ Okay. So by putting an @ which means this domain point to here, and they actually provide another proxy, another reverse proxy for you. For the sake of speed up your website, something like that, they provide some very fancy reverse proxy for you. For simplicity, I mean for demo purpose, I will turn it off. Okay, I turn it off. DNS only. Don't provide me any more fancy stuff. Don't provide me another reverse proxy.
Can you do this on DigitalOcean as well, directly?
The DNS server?
Yeah, doing the whole mapping thing. I've done it on DigitalOcean.
I'm not sure whether DigitalOcean provide you the DNS server.
You click on the main, go back to the main one where it shows you the containers, and then go on more, and then click on add a domain at the top, add a domain.
Add
more.
more, and
More?
then the first option.
And a domain.
Yeah. You can enter it.
So yeah, there's another way that DigitalOcean also provide you DNS. Let's do it after I finish the Cloudflare. So yeah, so that seems easier version. But let me show you the hard way. So this is the hard way. So by doing this, I already point this domain to this IP. You may guess that for other subdomain, just like this one, then I haven't do the mapping. If I want to also map ASDF, I also have to do like this. Copy and then take it off. Oops. I have to copy and paste all this thing. Do this again.
For each
Right.
page?
For each subdomain, not page. So if I want to do mapping, I should have registered a shorter domain. So if I want to map this one to the IP that I have added the record, if I want to add another ABC,
Oh,
then I
you
add
mean like subdomain is like, okay.
yeah,
So like any, just.
anything before the domain name.
Yeah, okay.
But then actually you can put a wildcard.
But it would always go to the home page, though, right?
Yeah, it goes or it goes to the home page. So I put a wildcard. I can put a wildcard.
Okay.
So all the subdomains will point to
You're
the
using
IP.
regex there too.
No, they just provide you the star, this one. So you have several more options that is really complicated. I'm going to just tell you one more today. So if you happen to want to receive email using this domain, call me at something or Alex at thisisdemo.club. You can set up a mail server on your VPS. You can set up mail server on VPS, and then get an MX record. Set an MX record, just like this. Oops. Yeah, this one has more advanced configurations so that they pop up. They can set up like this way.
MX is for mail server.
Yeah, it's for mail server. Oh. So you can feel free to type anything. Is it MX? No. Not sure whether you can. No. MX1 then. Invalid content. Anyway. Oh yeah, so sorry, because this is this should be not an IP. Sorry. Should be like this. Yeah, this is the way. Yeah. So this is this place of the MX record, you cannot put IP, you have to push the domain. So MX1, because it's wildcard, is already point to my server. So you can set up MX record so that whenever people try to send you an email, it will go to your server to receive email. Okay. So but by renting a VPS, usually you couldn't send email from your VPS because every provider like Gmail, Yahoo, Bing, MSN, they will treat your VPS server as a spam mail server. So by setting up this one, you can only be available to, you can just receive email, but you couldn't send email. You can receive it, but you couldn't send it. If you really have to send it, you will still have to register a Gmail account, or you have to register email server. External email server. Anyway, so it's just for your information. For the material, you don't really have to set up the MX record. Anyway, let's continue. So they ask you to charge to pay them. They ask you to pay them. Of course, I will also always go to the free one. So now they provide you the name server here. So you can put this name server, go back to the name chip, name server, put it here. Put it here too, and then save. Okay, so it takes up to 48 hours. I hope it takes effect immediately. Okay, while we have to wait for the domain, let's go on set up our web server, because we now should expect that when people go to this is accelerate-demo.club. Okay, it's not resolved yet. Is it my domain? Yeah. This one. It's not ready yet. We have to wait. We expect them to go to our website. So we have to set up our server. One more thing that about the domain is that once now we have the domain, we can set up the HTTPS. After we have the domain, we are now be available to set up the secure channel. We can set up the TLS. We are now available to set up the TLS. To set it up, we go to our Nginx. Let's go back to our server. We are here in the Nginx. And then we go back to the Nginx configuration. Okay, I couldn't find it. Just copy and paste. nano. Oops, it's being edited. Yes, let's go ahead. Oh, I'm editing in another console. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so I'm editing the Nginx configuration file. You see that there's server name here. So you may imagine that we have the wildcard. Remember, we have the wildcard domain name pointing to the same server, right? So actually, you may ask, so for all domain, you just show up the chat room, then this is pointless. Then why you have to point all the subdomain to the same server, right? Why don't you set up different server for different domains? So actually, Nginx can understand which domain name they are requesting for, so that this server name can distinguish different domain. But at this point, we only have one project, so it's fine. So we set up this is accelerate demo.club. This is the server name of this server. And then we can install all this stuff here. Just follow the command, update the repository. Update takes a little bit of time. Install this package called software properties common. Install the certbot. This certbot is the software, this PPA is the software to help you install your certificate, your HTTPS certificate, the TLS. So as usual, after update the PPA, you have to get apt-get update again. And then you install the package, the certbot package. So is my website ready yet?
Now,
Is that ready yet? No. Let me cool it. Let me see my website. My server is ready, yes or not? Seems not.
how do you know?
No, the website, the name server is updated per my request. This is the Cloudflare web name server that I want to update. Yeah, should be ready very soon. So I have successfully installed the certbot. This is the tools that I can install the free secure channel certificate. So if you want to know more about the certificate stuff, you can go to the Let's Encrypt. This is the way that people can make your website secure without any charge. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to run the certbot. So to run this command, you should have your domain ready. You should have your domain ready. If your domain is not ready yet, they couldn't verify that this domain is owned by you. Alright, so let's check. Enter my email address. Alright, this is my email. So the internet seems so slow. Oh, no, this. Let me type it once again. Okay, I agree, although I haven't read the documentation. We will be willing to share. No. Okay, this is the domain. Yes. Select the upload page. Yes. Leave blank to select all option. So it's waiting for verification. Cleaning up the challenges. Failed. So you see that they tried to look up my A record for the domain. So you see this DNS problem. So to make sure your domain is linked to the correct stuff or whatever, so you can see that since our domain is not ready yet, so I couldn't successfully create my HTTPS request. So for the sake of simplicity, let me use my own domain name to finish the setup. So I have wasted the money to fetch the domain. Feel like. Okay, so now I decided to change to other domain name server. Okay, this is my own domain, which is already live, 900.pw. Yeah. Let's say we have accelerate chat point to the IP address. What address? This one. So basically, I'm also doing the same thing. Set up a DNS, but this time instead of the domain that I just registered, I have set up a subdomain accelerate_chat.900.pw for my website. So I have to go back to the configuration file. Go back to the configuration file. This path. And then find out the server name. Yeah, here. It's so slow. Why? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The internet connection is killing me. Right, this is the domain. Did I paste? Come on. All right. So I have enter my new domain name. I run the surfbot nginx again. So it will help me to set up all the. It will help me set up all the configuration and stuff. Although the internet suddenly is so slow. So then I updated my server address. Yes, this is the address that I want to activate the HTTPS, the secure HTTP. I hope it works this time. Obtaining a new certificate. Deploying, yes. So I can choose whether or not to redirect HTTP traffic. So because you don't want the user to accidentally go back to the unsecure channel, you want them to switch to secure channel all the way. So maybe I would like to redirect. Alright, I'm done. So now, if I go to the, what's the IP? Here, you see that it is unsecure, not really secure. Even if I go to with my IP address without the port, same, unsecure. So I go to accelerate chat 900.pw. This is the domain. This one, right? I don't know why the server is getting so low. Yes, you see that? Wow! Now my website suddenly become a secure one. The domain name is so nice that you can send to your friends, and you still see the same server that you have set up. Alright? So by doing all this procedure, we have finished the deployment with a secure server. The certificate is installed, the Git is installed, npm is installed. Although we haven't set up the Postgres, we installed it, but we haven't set it up. But the same procedure is just You can just follow the same CMS, go to Postgres, add the user, do your .env, something like that. All right. Any questions?
It's like if we need to set the picture from the user, then how can we?
Accept what?
Like I want to upload the profile picture of the user in my app.
Okay, you want to upload the profile picture in your app. So if you want to upload that profile picture in your app, you can use the muter middleware and then store the picture in your server. Yeah, if you want to.
But you have to create a separate file, right? We're also very useful.
Yeah, so I can at least think of a few things. You have to set up muter, you have to set up form to upload the profile picture. You also have to use the passport to distinguish the user, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, which profile picture is uploading?
Like when I use the functionality, they give me the URL so that I can put the URL in the database and paste that URL to get the profile picture of the user.
Yeah, of course you can do so.
Is there any way we can do it now?
With your
With our DPS like
yeah. So if you want to do uploading, so the first thing is to so let's say you have this project here, and you install the muter.
If you could help me to fix this.
Are you install muter? No. Okay, you install muter here. So muter,
I can do that. But I want to show you.
you should always refer to the. I guess you should always refer to the documentation. Right. So they have additional parameter. Oops. Yeah. So uploads equal to. This is also required meter. Right here. And then whenever you have a URL that accepting file upload, right? It's single, something like this, right? So I will. My destination is upload. Right, so I have photos upload here. I would like to, okay. I build this one. I upload a single file called Advanta. And then here I should have a form instead of just a message. Let's say I have additional form. Action is profile. Method is post. Here you have to do the multi-part. Here, the type is file. Upload profile picture. Right. So by doing this one, you notch dot. Right. And then you go to your local host. So now you have an upload here. So let's say I have a logo. This one, upload. Oh, I have a P event default, so I should distinguish these two. I should bring it to submit instead of. Okay. Oh, the button is gone. What to do? Can I add additional CSS? Oh, even worse. Make it back to button. So this button is a button. Type is a button. So only type is a button. We'll do the p event default. Okay, I make it back. Could you please upload? Yes, I should have upload because I haven't give you the request of response. Let's say I have this one. Result okay. Without even responding to the user, You see that I already have an upload folder. Oh, but then I don't have the file available yet. Let's do this one again. Choose file, logo, upload, result OK. Oh, but the file is not here. So you still have to see the documentation anyway. So I have a destination. Then why not? Okay. So let's do this. Request of file. Do this one again. Oh. So it's undefined. Why? Single file will store in request of file. Oh yeah, because I'm a Fanta, I have to name it. Sorry, I haven't named it. Yeah, this time it should be fine. Reload it. Go back to here. Go back to the front page. Select the image. Upload it. Yeah, you see the file is here. So the next thing you gotta do is to show this file, right? So to show this file, let's say this is file name. You couldn't do like this because it is not fetched from the Express by default. So one of the very easy way to do is to app.use the express.static. Right? This time uploads. I set the folder to uploads. And then we start it. You still couldn't find a picture because it will fetch all the files into uploads without the folder name. So by this one, I can download the file. You see that? If you want to still keep the path, you can type uploads like this. Then it will make the path prettier. And then let's say, I don't know why, you know the path here. You make it this way. Then you will see the logo. Yeah, no, why? Maybe I haven't restarted. Show me. No. Why? Oh yes, I'm missing the beginning slash. One more time. Yeah. So by this way, you upload something and then show on the server. So you want to push this to the server? Let's do it. So
how do you stop the pathway? Because when you upload, right, it sends you to that path. Right?
yeah. So
So
here.
how do you prevent the user from even seeing that path changing? Because normally when you go to download websites and you download the file directly without changing the path.
So you want to keep it as logo called .png? Do you mean that?
Oh no, the URL on the link.
Oh no, it hasn't changed it.
Oh, it hasn't changed. Okay, that's
I just wanted the reason that the path changed because I want to do the demo demonstration.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
of course you can do so many ways to prevent the change, right? So of course, also for the path, it's your responsibility to store it in Redis or Postgres, right? So that's why you can retrieve it later. And then one more thing is that since now you have the upload folder, you don't really want to put it into the to the Git. I don't think you should put it into the Git. Instead of ignore it, instead of try not to click the plus sign, you can very carefully not to add the upload file, right? But the better way is to just ignore it at all, totally, so that you don't have a chance to mistakenly upload the upload folder. So add uploading function, right? So now I have committed. So very happily I can push to the production again. We will try to upload, help me to install the new packages, and then once I restart the accelerate chat.io.pw,
Excel Pro.
So you see that upload file here, weekday, upload. So since we have hard coded the image path, it's not really fair. That's why it's not shown here. But we can go inside to the server to see whether the file is uploaded successfully or not. It's not really a good practice. You should have stored in the Postgres and it displays nicely. It's just because I have make this project with demo purpose very simple, but at least you see the folder, its file is here. Yeah, the file is here. So if I manually go to the website, it should download me the yellow logo. Come on, it's so slow. I don't know why.
Gordon's using up all your bandwidth.
Maybe it's time to type the top then. Yeah. So you see the top, the server loading is low, is very low. So it must be about the bandwidth, not about our server. Yeah. Yeah. This is the way you upload the things. And then with just passport, Postgres, then you can make it like a profile picture. Any other questions? If no, let's stop here. Let's see whether the screen recording